morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is William Michael Forbes. I want to welcome you to Shortcuts for Your Soul. And I'm a spiritual medium, a channel, and an intuitive life coach. And we do this show every day at 10 a.m. And we've changed the whole format of the program. So we'll be doing Monday to Friday. We're going to be doing a build-up. The theme of each day will work towards Supernatural Saturday, which is on Supernatural Saturday. We're going to be doing a meditation that takes all of the energies built up and put out through the process of these shortcuts for your soul. And we're going to do a specialized meditation to integrate all these energies and lift your consciousness to a higher vibrational plane of awareness from what it currently is. And today's episode is entitled Overcoming Overwhelming Emotions. And I've got Archangel Gabriel with me. I've got Master Jesus and Metatron with me today. Because they all have different understandings of what emotions mean when they're overwhelming. The general understanding is universal, but the process for dealing with them differs from individual to individual as we understand them. So overcoming overwhelming emotions. When they first told me this would be the subject, all of a sudden I felt this incredible energy in my heart center, like that right here. I feel like this. I literally been feeling overwhelming emotions for about the last 15 minutes. I'm literally watching old memories being rebooted into my conscious awareness. Good morning, everybody. I'm literally watching old memories being rebooted back into my conscious awareness. So I'm actually remembering the feelings, the state, the emotions I was in prior to at a certain point in my life when I was suicidal, when I was under psychiatric care. All of those emotions have suddenly become aware to my consciousness again. They've been brought forth. When I asked Master Jesus, why am I experiencing these now? I thought I'd resolve them. He said, because it's important in order to communicate a truth, you must be able to communicate that truth from your own knowing experience. It's important to express that any words you express of truth must be expressed from the truth of your own experience. So what are overwhelming emotions? Well, overwhelming emotions are literally that, things that overwhelm our capacity or nearly overwhelm our capacity to think or act rationally. That's what overwhelming, the definition that we're giving today, that overwhelming amount of emotions or nearly overwhelming emotions are emotions that come out that overwhelm your capacity to think or function rationally. As you can see, I'm having a challenge with these emotions that I'm experiencing. I'm remembering literally the sense of loneliness and isolation and pain and fear and shame and guilt that I was going through during this 12-year period of my life. And there was nothing in place in my mind at that time. There was nothing in my awareness or consciousness at that time that I was aware of that enabled me to deliberately and intelligently understand what the emotions were, why I was feeling them, what caused them, and how to remove, how to alter those emotions so they weren't affecting me or impacting me negatively or causing me to think, say, and do things like try to commit suicide, which is what overwhelming emotions can sometimes do. Sometimes overwhelming emotions can make you want to cringe or recoil from life or hide in a corner. Sometimes overwhelming emotions will cause you to lash out at people and attack. Sometimes overwhelming emotions can cause us to hurt the people we love, or the people that we love to hurt us. Overwhelming emotions are merely a flow of energy that's so intense through a specific quality of vibration that causes very specific behavior. Remember, all emotion, doesn't matter what emotion is, all emotion causes effects in physical behavior. You can reduce, alter, or change the effect of that behavior through the way in which you interact with the energy that you call emotion. It's important, yes, Metatron is saying it's important you understand that emotions are simply and plainly energy in motion. They can only move in one of two directions. They can move in a positive direction or they can move in a negative direction, but they can only go in one of those two directions. Your capacity to utilize and harness and direct these energies deliberately and intentionally is the awareness you wish to cultivate in order to generate the experiences in the physical world that you are aspiring to manifest and what you came here to intending to experience when you came into that physical form in the first place. Yes, I get that. Wow. So overcoming overwhelming emotions. Master Jesus says that when people he found when people were in hysterics that his capacity to be in absolute state of love or grace towards those individuals enabled them to hook into that vibration from him so that they could calm down from the energy that he was projecting at them, the energy, the love, the energy he was putting out towards them, would literally calm them down. Um, he said it was important for me afterwards to ensure that I instructed these individuals to understand that it was their awareness of that energy, they're willing to allow that energy into their consciousness to give it attention and focus that produced the change in their mood. All I did was transmit a vibration. They received it, they gave it attention, and it expanded in their system. Wow. Um, so very important. We're going to, again, the Shortcuts for the Soul each week is going to go through a building up process. So by the end of the week, on Saturday, when we get to Supernatural Saturday, we're going to do a slight meditation to take all of the energies we acquire during these 5 days of the week, and we're going to take those energies, integrate them to a higher level so that your body and your psychology can integrate them as an experiential awareness into the body. But they're also saying that you'll be able to integrate these energies in an immediate place right now. So overcoming overwhelming emotions. If anybody's got an overwhelming emotion, there's some things that you need to understand. If you're aware of intense emotions that seem to be overwhelming you, the first thing you want to learn to do, and they always say this, the first thing to do is to breathe. So even though I'm aware of these energies going through my awareness right now, I'm aware of these intense emotions from a time in my life that was very highly charged emotionally, I'm not subjective. That you recognize that you are the awareness, aware of the emotions. Hang on a second. Hi, Drusilla. Hi, everybody. I'm just going to scroll back up here. Over here, I think we had a slight breach in the live stream for a moment. There we go. I think it's all worked out now. So yeah, once you move yourself into a position of awareness, when you move yourself into a position of awareness over an emotion, once you have a position of awareness, then you've got steps you can take. And the first step is breathing when there's an overwhelming emotion. And again, overwhelming emotions are something that your body reacts to. Your soul, your awareness, can only get lost in an emotion when you identify with that emotion or with the body's response to that emotion. Because your body, even those events from my past had happened 40 years ago, right now at this moment, I'm feeling my body is reacting to the memory of those emotions as if they're happening right now. My heart is racing faster. I can actually see the memory patterns going through my brain where I can see the body walking towards the bridge that day. And so I'm aware of how the body's reacting to something in the mind that's stored there from a long time ago. And it's reacting as if it's in danger. And at that time, in reality, it was in danger because I was going to jump it off a bridge. So understand, once you can assume a position of consciousness, you can then begin to make a shift. Back then, I had no knowledge of any of this stuff. So as I'm aware of these emotions in the consciousness of my body right now, I can feel the body reacting with that fight or flight mechanism. It wants to go running somewhere. It's because it's afraid of what's coming, right? Because it remembered that I was thinking about jumping off the bridge. So it's reacting to a past event right now as if the event is actually happening. So the two things I'm doing now to prevent the body from being overreactive or getting lost in. First thing, I'm aware of the emotion. I'm aware of the anxiety. I'm aware of the terror. I'm aware of how the body's responding to that. And then the next thing I do now is I breathe. I just literally go, and I start to deliberately and intentionally relax the body. Master Jesus says this is what is called stilling the waters. He's saying this is what this one is showing you. This is called stilling the waters. Your emotions are the movement of spirit. We often refer to them in teaching as waters. So you want to learn how to still the waters. Okay, so the first thing I do is I go into breathing. I slowly begin to breathe slowly and deeply, and I'm deliberately, as I exhale the body, I'm deliberately letting the muscles in the body relax. Because remember, when the body's in a state of fight or flight, muscles get tense, adrenaline gets kicked into the system, so your neurobiological chemistry changes. So even though I'm aware of all those changes in the body right now, the minute I start breathing slowly and relaxing, the minute I start to make the body do that, and I keep making the body breathe slowly and deeply, the body begins to calm. And as you can notice, the voice tone begins to change too. And the muscles deliberately and intentionally begin to relax your muscles as you breathe. So I'll take another slow, deep breath. And the key is on slow, deep breaths. Do not hurry the breath, because a hurried breath is again an energy of panic. You don't want to feed that energy. You're trying to train the body to a new emotional energy when it's used to experiencing or expressing a certain emotional energy instinctually from, again, 250,000,000 years of evolution stored in this body, right? In all of our bodies. So literally, when there's an intense, overwhelming emotion, it's literally remembering all the experiences where its life was threatened and bringing that energy to the present and stimulating the chemistry to prepare itself for fight or flight. So as Master Jesus was saying, this is a process that he calls stilling the waters. So slow, deep breath, and deliberately on your exhale, allow the body to relax, allow all the muscles to relax deliberately and intentionally. And you want to repeat that process. You'll notice with each and every breath that what will start to happen is the body will actually start to return to a relaxed state. Because when you're breathing slowly and deeply, it signals the body. You're giving your body this signal that it's okay. It actually begins to experience, oh, it's okay. Remember, your body can't distinguish between fantasy and reality. So even though I am in this present moment, I am also in the past moment aware of that event. When that event was triggered, brought back to my conscious awareness, my body was starting to react as if that event that happened 40 years ago is still happening right now in real time. And that happens to a lot of people, where they suddenly explode out of thin air, or they react and they go on a shooting rampage. These are intense, overwhelming emotions that they do not know how to direct or control. And they build up and they build up, and they don't have any mechanisms in place to self-monitor, to become aware that they are the awareness that can change the way the body is functioning. The minute you breathe slowly and deeply, your biochemistry begins to go through a change. Like right now, I can feel the heart rate in the body beginning to slow down. I can feel the adrenaline beginning to diminish. And I can feel the muscles relaxing more and more. I can feel myself, the body becoming more centered into this moment of time and space. So as I've taken the body's focus off of the memory system, so by focusing in the present moment and having the body breathe slowly and deeply, it brings the body back into this present moment. And in this present moment, all that's happening is right here and right now. And yet the same process can also apply if something in the present is going on, stimulating something very scary, where you're able to then still do this exact same process. First, the breathing, get the body to begin to relax. Even if something's bothering, scary in front of you, if you start that process of slowly breathing, what happens is the body will begin to relax, and your mind will become more aware of what you need to be aware of, and the body won't be reacting instinctually the same way. So breathing is the second step. Awareness of the emotion first, breathing second, and thirdly, move slowly and stay in the breathing pattern as long as you can until the body returns to normal. And then take your attention and put your attention on something like the sound of silence between objects, like becoming aware of the space between this monitor and my body, and just feeling the space, or becoming aware of the space between your hands. And what do you feel, or what are you aware of in that space? The minute you put your awareness into space, your mind has nothing to focus on. So now you begin to quiet the mind down. Because remember, where that emotion got triggered, the emotion first got triggered this morning when I was watching statistics on the number of missing people that go missing every year in the United States. And that triggered the number of children, particularly, that go missing every year in the United States. About 400,000 children a year go missing. And that triggered my past memory of being hurt and harmed and put in a situation that I didn't want to be put in. And that was the trigger for the emotion. And when I asked them why did that all happen, they said, because this is a lesson day. People need to understand that something that's not even happening in the present moment can take over the present moment just by from a memory perspective. Um, mm-hmm. So getting your body still and quiet through your breath, and then getting your mind focused into space, into silence. When you have both the mind and body quiet, Master Jesus says, you have successfully stilled the waters. You have successfully stilled the waters, made the body, made the mind quiet, and now you are in charge of the ship. You're in charge of the vehicle again. It's not running you. You're now running it and directing it deliberately and intentionally. So let's see what people have to say about overwhelming emotions today. And again, I got Archangel Gabriel. I don't know what Gabriel came to me first this morning. He's just been giving this energy of peace, like literally standing over my right side and just emanating these vibrations of peace. Yes. And Metatron, he says he's here to explain some things that there's a couple of people here who need some information from him. And Master Jesus was wanting to simply have you to understand that the concept of stilling the waters had very little to do with an actual lake or an ocean. The concept of stilling the waters was the recognition that the movement of spirit through your consciousness as the energy of emotion is the waters. It is the energy of spirit that is the water. And that spirit can take the shape and form that is pleasing to you. That spirit can take the shape and form that is a dire situation or a storm to you. Once you understand how to control the spirit, you are in the position then to begin to do the work that you came here to do as an awareness, as a soul. But first you must learn to still the waters. Be still and know I am. Mm-hmm. And he says, when he says I am, he doesn't mean he is. He means that I am that you call I. Whenever you say the word I, that is I am. That is the soul particle of yourself. And we often say, I am William. But no, William is the container that I move through. So learning about stilling the water is very important. It's going to save you hours and hours and hours and perhaps years of suffering needlessly once you understand that emotion is just your energy in motion. And they can be really intense sometimes, but once you follow the simple process and stay with it, yes, okay. He's saying stay with it. When you are breathing slowly and deeply, keep your body breathing slow and deep until it begins to calm down. And focus your mind on space. Take your mind off the thoughts that are connected to the emotion and put your mind on space, something between something, so that your mind has nothing to focus on to re-stimulate the emotion. Once you gain the experience of having quieted your mind and stilled your body, you'll begin to be free of this world. You'll begin to open the doorway to expressing that which you came here to offer this world. For you came here as a gift to the world, not simply to take from it. Thank you. Let's go here. Yes, good morning, everybody. Manoj, Nicole, and Naveed, Lori. Wow. Hello, Nicole. Oh, you're welcome, Giovanna. Yes, literally the title for this just came like not even 15 minutes before, because I sit down before and I ask, what is today? What is your will today? What is the will today? And they always give me the thing that's right, and it's certainly appropriate for me today too, as it is for all of us. Hello, Buddha. Hello, Trish. Hello, Angela. Hello, Heather. It's been 4 years now. Yeah, if you're going to ask a question, thank you, Giovanna. Question: does my higher self have a message for me? I'd love some word, name, or some guidance so I can begin to be more consciously connected with it. Well, it's interesting. Your higher self it's very playful right now. It's saying smile more and you'll connect to the essence of who I am for you. But I am that you are. It is the smile, the joy. It is through the vibration of joy that you will connect to the essence and the inspiration that I offer you. Saying don't try so hard. Don't try running around so hard to find that which is right beside you right now. If you smile, you will feel it. They're saying if you smile, you will feel it. I love that. Thank you. Uh, Drusilla's asking, what was the message of the Christmas tree I saw last night? Continue to celebrate. Yes, continue to celebrate the light. Continue to celebrate the light in all of its forms. Wow. Continue to celebrate the light in all of its forms. Well, let us know what that means to you, Drusilla. I can get my own conception of what I think that means. Heather, it seems the higher I get in my consciousness, I'm attacked severely. Again, you can see this as attacked, or you're being given. Again, you can see this as being attacked, or you can choose to see this as being given exercise. For how can your muscle gain strength if there's no weight to it? How can your soul know its limitless power unless it has something to strengthen itself from? And it is your emotions, it is those things that you struggle with that exercise your soul to be awake, to be aware, to remember that which you are, to know that you are the divine creator in expression through that individualized form there. Remember this. You'll find freedom. Let's see. Nicole is asking, do I have new spirit guides? Any message for me? Nicole, again, this big yes, that you got a group that works around you. It's a very large group that literally different ones come in at different times, depending on the requirement you have or that which you're trying to understand and comprehend will shift who it is that's working with you at any given point in time. And this is true for all of us. Like different angels, different guides, different beings come to us depending on the nature and the context of what it is we're trying to learn or understand or what we need at that moment. They'll come to us based on what vibrational frequency we're at. So when you're at a certain frequency, if you're trying to figure out a problem solve, oftentimes I find Metatron comes to me with problem solving, right? Master Jesus comes to me when I'm trying to sort out things of concern or issues of the heart, right? And then I've got my guardian angel John comes to me for almost anything, but it differs from person to person and individual depending upon the events and circumstances that you're working on in the present moment or any other moment. But the truth is there is only the present moment. This is the only moment. Manoj is asking, I've got 2 daughters. I would like to know what clairs, etc., each one of them got strongest and how I can help them to be more aware of it and develop it. Master Jesus is saying the youngest one, she is more clairsentient. She feels deeply with her heart. That is not to say that the other does not, but this youngest one feels more with her heart. So I would call that clairsentience. What about the older one? The older one, she sees. She sees without knowing she sees, but she sees. It startles her sometimes that she sees. It makes her scratch her head. Sometimes she's not sure. It would be good for you to offer them an understanding that they can feel without necessarily knowing what they're feeling through their senses. They can know without necessarily knowing through their senses. They can see without necessarily seeing with their eyes. This would be helpful for both to understand. As to the opening of the other clairs, you may facilitate this for them if you allow yourself to develop these things. If you develop the other clairs that you have, the other capabilities, the other spiritual senses that are available to all of you, if you develop them, it will be much easier to become aware of those that are unfolding in your children. But there are many ways you can identify that in how they speak to you and what they say. They will reveal to you what they're dominantly working with in terms of their non-physical senses. So yeah, it's great. So yeah, start developing this, but also connect to your children, like really connect to them and spend some time finding out what do they feel more, do they think more. Their clairs will open up. The more you make them aware of what's there, they'll open up. The more you become aware of your clairsentience or claircognizant or clairvoyant, the more you become aware of your clairs as you develop one. It's like an organ. And once it's developed, then the others will start to develop. You start to develop other ones Some people get stuck on one clairvoyance or claircognizance or clairsentience or clairaudience. They get stuck on one and they feel comfortable with it. Learn to develop them all. Learn to develop them all. Again, we do this in the courses and classes, which start in September. You can come and learn to open your clairs up consciously, deliberately, and through a practical step-by-step process that you can know and experience what it is for you, right? Because you don't want to just hear what other people are telling you is true. You want to experience it through your own experience, because when you experience something, it's true, right? It's like if I were to say to all of you right now, imagine that you've got a giant yellow lemon in your hand right now. You got a giant yellow lemon in your hand, and you mush that lemon up inside the skin. You get all mushy, right? And then you rip that lemon in two separate drippy pieces, and you take the lemon in the right hand and you lick it with your tongue. And then you do the same thing with the left hand and lick that one with your tongue. If you're imagining it right now, your mouth will be salivating, right? Your mouth will be salivating, because you don't have to once you know an imaginary lemon now will cause your glands to salivate. So now you know from your experience that something imaginary can impact and alter your glands. That simply. An imaginary lemon can stimulate your mouth to salivate. And if an imaginary lemon can stimulate your salivary glands to salivate, what else can you imagine to stimulate a state of health or a state of joy or a state of peace, or a state of vitality? What else can you imagine? Remember, all creation begins with imagination. Let's see. Mahela. Wow. Yes, I understand. I'm just scrolling back up because the questions go by very, very quickly sometimes. Let's see. Give me a moment here. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's amazing. Emotions. Overcoming overwhelming emotions. It's easier than you think. It's hard, but if you keep jumping into the feelings, getting caught in the body's interpretation of whatever your mind is presenting to it, or whatever the world's presenting to it, then you can get lost in the emotions. So it's important to use your breath first and foremost to still the waters. I love that. Your emotions are the waters that need to be stilled. And you start with your breath, and then getting your mind focused on something that doesn't keep it active, because your body can't distinguish between fantasy and reality. My body, when I recalled what went through my mind when I was 20 years old, reacted as if that event were still happening right now, and I had to reorganize the system. You can do this too. Anybody can. I'm doing very well, Reflection. Thank you for asking. A Magical Buddha is asking, can you ask Spirit what is the higher reason behind the difference of the East and the West? Well, it's funny you asked me to ask Spirit that. It laughs and says there is no fundamental difference between the East and the West, other than that one is East and one is West. You may utilize the energies of either. Your biology will respond to them very differently too. For one is the rising of the day, the other is the setting of the day, and your body, your physical body, measures the transformation in its biology, unless you choose to supersede its process. But your body will measure changes in its biology by the changes of the environment. So when your body sees the sun rise and your body sees the sun set, it tells your body a certain thing has changed, and your body begins to modify according to that environmental stimulation that those two aspects of expression of spirit do. If you're able to reach the awareness that these just represent the rising and setting of the sun, but do not mean the measure of time or to limit your days, but are equally blessings to you, then you will have a different response, and your biology will react to them very differently. But most people are unconsciously aging by the triggers of their environment, the rising, the falling, the changing of the seasons. These things often act upon your body to age it according to the dynamics of biology rather than the dynamics of your soul. So we would not say that you should be considering one as being greater or less than another, but they are equally divine in the expression of infinite intelligence and love. Cool. Thank you for that question. That's really profound when you think about that. I never thought of that when the sun comes up, our body perceives that to mean something. Our body, the senses take that information. When the sun sets down and night comes, the body takes that information to mean something, the passage of time. and the body reacts to that organically, right? But once you start to reorganize your consciousness, then you can not get caught up in the conventional biological process. I believe you can extend your life a little further than what it would organically be inclined to exist by just learning how to change the way your body perceives information of environmental conditions. It's a great question, by the way. Really wonderful. While I was looking back for my note, I came across the Christmas list. Keep the light glowing. Was that Jesus? The answer is yes, Patricia. Tina, what are my guides guiding me to do that I am procrastinating? I must be missing the sign I'm asking for. They're saying you just have to pay attention to those signs. They're saying pay attention. You get them, but you do not realize. It's like, for me, I always ask for a clear message every day to reveal that I've actually connected with spirit. So they'll know the creative source has heard me and felt me. And every day I get a response. I've had really funny things happen. The other day I went down to the back deck we have in our condo. I went and sat outside, and I saw a dime sitting up on edge between two rocks 4 feet in front of me. And I heard the words, "It's your dime." And it was so unusual to see that, a dime sitting up in the air between two rocks, out on this back deck. And to me, that was a sign from spirit that it heard my communication with it, in this case, yesterday. So remember, there's signs. You want signs will surprise you. If it's really the spirit, it'll be outside your normal framework of perception. That's when you'll know it's really spirit connecting with you, because it surprised you. It's like, oh yeah, right? Like that man last week who came up out of nowhere beside me as I'm standing outside, and comes up and stands beside me and gives me this shoulder bump in his black leather jacket. "Hey, how you doing, man?" And I took him by the third bump. When he finally bumped me the third time, I got it. It was spirit. So sometimes you won't get the message unless you're aware and paying attention. So be mindful, because they're always available to you if you're asking for them. And you'll know, because you'll feel it. And you go, yes, that was spirit talking to me. Let's see. Oh, hi, Desiree. Thank you for that $5 super chat. Was wondering what message my guides have for me today. So Desiree is wondering what message my guides have for me today. It's funny. I don't know why they're singing, but they're singing something about music, something you need to do with music today, to lift your spirits higher. Something about music. Sing with us is the words I'm hearing. Sing with us. I don't know if you're a singer or if you're a closet singer, but they're saying, sing with us today. Raise your joy. Raise your joy. So that's going to be interesting. I'm curious to see what that looks like. I wonder if you are a singer, Desiree. Maybe you're a singer. Trish is saying, many thanks for the guidance to go into the forest this past Friday. I fell into a deep meditation for over an hour. Felt like 10 minutes. It felt like a mask fell over my face. I can breathe again. Oh, that's wonderful, Trish. Thank you. Yeah, it's amazing, that they're always with us. They never, ever are not with you. They're always with you right now. It's just that we have to develop the skill to hear. And sometimes they're not talking on a verbal language on a physical plane, so your ears don't hear the sound wave of a physical voice, but your inner ear, your awareness is multisensory. You can see with these eyes, you can hear with these ears, but you can also see with eyes that don't require physical eyes to see, and you can hear with ears that do not require physical ears to hear. Inner hearing, inner seeing, inner knowing, the clairs is what we call them in this dimension. So I'm really glad to hear that was that you had that experience, Trish. You're welcome, Minaj. Yes, there are some natural products, but there's the greatest natural product to solving high intense emotions is the assertion of your own awareness over the dominion of your mind and body, to become the loving master of the temple, to learn how to treat your body and your mind with reverence and love and respect, so that it goes, hey, I like being with this person. I like them. running me. I like them directing me to do this and do that. And I like them telling me to go wash the dishes. I trust them. And you want to develop a relationship with your body and mind so they're just open to you all the time and they're receiving you in direction. They don't resist you anymore. And what most people experience as resistance is mostly based from your past memories. Get out of your past memories so you can get back in the present moment. Let's see, Sharon. Lately, when I wake up, I feel immense fear from a yeah. Again, Sharon, if you whenever you become this, okay, I promise. When you become aware of an intense emotion like that, that's usually because either a memory is being stimulated and you're not aware of how it's been stimulated, or something about from your past is considering a possible future based on that past. But it doesn't matter. You don't have to go back in the past. You don't have to go into the future. Right now, move into the process of what we discussed earlier. When you feel that fear, sit the body up. Start to breathe it slowly and deliberately and intentionally relax the body, and continue to do that until the body stays relaxed. And then keep your mind quiet. Focus on silence. Once you learn how to train your mind and body to focus a little differently, what's going to happen is it will become your servant and not your master. And that's what we want you to get to, that place where literally your body is your servant and your mind is your servant and no longer your master. And that takes practice, patience, and perseverance. But it gets easier and easier the more you do it. That's the whole thing. A lot of people feel the overwhelming emotion so much and they give up. They get caught in the emotion and they let their body run around and terrified. Your body's an animal. Your body is an animal body, and it can only react to life events, internal thought process as if they're real. It's a subjective instrument. It's not who you are. It's an animal you inhabit. Learn to train the animal that you will take care of it, and you've got this, and it can relax. That's just a memory from then. You're perfectly safe right now. We're going to just release this fear from your body. And you continue to do that, and the body goes, oh, and you can start to feel how de-stressed the body starts to become. And just literally 5 or 10 breaths, if you do them slowly and deliberately, then the next step is to get the mind off being focused on things that are from your past that upset you and frustrate you. Keep your mind in the present moment. And we go into that whole process of teaching you how to still your body and quiet your mind in our Mediumship 102 intermediate level course. We actually begin to learn the process of getting your mind and your body into a state of being your servant and not your master anymore. Because it was never meant to be your master. Your body is your servant. It's not your master. Your mind is meant to be your servant, not your master. But you've been conditioned, and many of you watch TV shows and television programming that put fear in your mind, that put terror in your mind. And many of you have trouble sleeping at night because you watched a TV show about zombies. You try to go sleep at night, you feel restless, you don't know why you're feeling restless. When you watch a show that put a bunch of fear in your mind and your body's still looking for those zombies, right? People don't realize how much information they allow go in their mind that affects their bodies just from what they observe. Be mindful of what you allow into your temple. You know, Master Jesus talks about the city of God is in the temple. The kingdom of God is in the city of 9 gates. You know, and the body has 9 gates. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 gates. You got to learn to close the gates. Only allow in what you want in the temple. Don't let anything in your temple that you don't want in it. Right? That means you don't eat toxic food. You don't eat processed foods. You eat healthy, vibrant foods. You drink good water. You avoid caffeine. You make this temple divine, right? You want to make it divine. And so many people, and myself included in the past, got caught up in the external world being allowed to direct the actions of your own mind and body. And that's why it's called programming for a reason. You want to become your own programmer. Okay. Hi, Susanna. Let's just scroll down here a bit. Okay. Oh, go back up again. Wonderful. I've lost that communications device. I don't know why that is. Excuse me. I'm just going to make a correction here. There we go. Jesus just mentioned helping people calm down by sending love. As my daughter was upset, what is the point of doing any of this in life. I stepped aside to allow love to release true empathy to her. Um, the point is that so that you know you are one with your Creator, so that you know you are not separate from love ever, so that you know that you are a divine Creator in union with the divine Creator. The point is learning to be that which you are fully and completely, to find the joy and the bliss. You can also say, if one chooses to suffer, that they have chosen the divine expression of suffering. For in truth, there is only one consciousness. It simply has an unlimited potential for expression and being. But you may choose any point you wish your life to be. If you wish your life to be an expression of joy and love, then you may choose to do that. If you wish your life to be an expression of fear and sadness, you may choose to do that. For you will not be judged by your source. The source will not judge you. It will just allow you. But you get to choose. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Scrolling down. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, thank you. Oh, you're welcome, Nicole. I'm so glad to hear that. She says, I'm really excited. My clairs are opening up. Thank you for your courses. Well, they're their courses. They just brought them through us. It's the most amazing thing. Very different. What happens in the courses is really special and it's very unique, and it's an honor and a privilege to be part of them, right? To be able to convey this work to them, to everybody, to all of us. So yeah, I'm really glad you enjoyed it. Hi, Gina. Yeah, learning to control the still the waters of emotion. It's the most exciting thing when you suddenly start to realize you can still the waters. You can quiet the anger. You can quiet the fear. You can quiet the terror. You can literally breathe life into it. Breathe a new life into your life by simply training your body, training your mind to be your loyal servants again. This world has turned them against you. Your house has been turned against you, and you must now put your house in order. Any dangers in suppressing emotions? That's a great question. Are there any dangers in suppressing emotions? When you move into the present moment, remember, in the present, in this moment, there is nothing. There is absolutely nothing except what we are in this moment. What most people do is they bring their past into the present, and the past memories, the past emotions and past experience, and they repeat it over and over and over again, and the body reacts accordingly. When you train your body to be still and quiet, you're not suppressing emotions, you're bringing your awareness into the present moment, which is where Master Jesus says the kingdom of God is here and now. If they tell you it is there or there, nay, the kingdom of God is here now. And in the kingdom of God is pure bliss, right? The Eastern mystics call it samadhi, and they have different names for it. But this present moment, when you can bring your body and mind into it, it is glorious. You actually get to choose and think and feel and be that which you are in the present moment. You can't be what you are if you're repeating memories and recalling emotions and getting stuck on them. No, you are a master of energy. Emotions are your energy in motion, and they can only go in one of two directions, positive or negatively. And it's up to you to assert your awareness over this temple and change it. So from my perspective, Master Jesus said, no, there's no such thing as suppressing emotions. There's simply changing that which you are being. He says it's simply changing that which you are being. Yes. I use the example of think of that as an emotion that you don't want to feel anymore. This is your fear. And you put your fear and you say, I don't want this to be this anymore. I want to change it. So you put your fear in the refrigerator, and suddenly the refrigerator freezer turns this fear into ice. It becomes something completely different. If you direct love and compassion to your fear, it changes, which is something we'll be getting into tomorrow. What can you do to interact with different emotional states? Because a lot of people try to get rid of their uncomfortable states. Don't attack them. Give them love. And we'll get into that tomorrow, right? You want to learn to give love to those things Master Jesus says repeatedly, love those that disrespectfully treat you. And he meant about internal process first. When you feel emotions and feelings in here and thoughts in here that are not friendly, that are not nice, don't feel good, give them love and change them. And you give them love by learning to relax the body and de-stress it, and then communicating a vibration of love to those energies. They'll change instantly. They literally will. It's a law. Once you put a vibration of love towards any emotion of fear, the fear begins to change. Try it right now. If you got fear or anger or guilt or shame in your awareness right now, turn your attention to it and say, listen, I'm willing to love you, even if I don't understand you. Communicate that like in a tone of sincerity, and you'll feel that energy change almost immediately, right? These are things that Master Jesus has been teaching us for more than 2,000 years. He's been around a lot longer than people realize. I'm Naveed's asked a question I think is very interesting. Can you ask Aphrodite what role does spiritual love play in the evolution of consciousness, and how does it transform us from a higher dimensional aspect into our purest self? She's saying that there's two levels that you speak of here. There is the love play of the body and mind, which is a physical reality, and that keeps you confined to matter. The process of actual love, the vibrational frequency that you understand of as love, if you are to interplay that into your body and mind, then the need for physical intimacy changes significantly as you are altering your consciousness from being localized to that body to being an awareness beyond it, but still in charge of utilizing it. The minute you begin to do that process, you move your awareness from the physical structure, you begin to move your awareness up. The minute you begin to access that vibration that you know of as love, you begin to literally transform and transmute those energies. What else? She says, don't confuse. She says, do not confuse physical energy, physical intimacy with divine love. Although the expression of physical matter and physical intimacy is the process for creating a form through which a divine entity may come through, do not confuse that which you are with the body, or that which you are with your thoughts. It is important you understand the distinction, for you are the spiritual vibration that you are seeking. But you must elevate yourself up by climbing the ladder of consciousness. Know that you are not that body, that you are the divine one that holds on to the vibrations and frequencies of love, and that by the extension of that, you change that which you are perceiving yourself to be. You are not that body. What do you have? What do you or they have to say about the functionality of emotions? The functionality of emotions. What do you have to say about it? Metatron stepping in and he's saying the functionality of emotions is simply to organize and structure patterns of physical manifestation into specific conditions of experience on this physical dimension. You organize emotional energy expressly for the purpose of experience. That is the purpose of emotion, to organize patterns of energy into different mediums of physical experience. It is not restricted at a certain point in your evolution to physical manifestations, but you may also use this energy into divine manifestations to become the cause of effects, the creator of different states of being and awareness. Yes. So basically, I'm paraphrasing him now. Your emotions are just energy that can't be created nor destroyed. They can only be changed from one state to another. That's what your emotions are. They're just a form of energy. They're the fourth state of energy that organizes matter, right? That's what emotions are. They're the fifth state of energy. Solids, liquids, gases, plasma, emotion. Emotion organizes matter. That's basically what it is. And if the emotions are fearful, it will cause matter to be organized in a certain way. If the emotions are joyful, it'll cause emotion to be organized a certain energy and experience to be organized a certain way. The emotions that go behind creating a war are vastly different between the emotions that go behind creating a celebration. There's just different emotional energies. Emotion is just energy in motion. You can change one to the other. You can change fear to love. You can change love to fear. The emotions are just energy. They organize time, space, and matter for us. Yes, thank you. He says that's okay. Oh, thank you, Benjamin. I appreciate that $5 donation. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Gina, when you said I tried slowing my breathing down, what happened? Tell us what happened. Tell us what happened when if you try, remember, you don't want to try, because if you're going to try doing something, you're already building the potential for failure. When you're going to try to do something, you're already building the potential for failure. Don't try. Like, literally breathe and relax and let your body relax as you exhale. Allow the body to relax on every exhale. And keep doing that until the body becomes calm. And then get the mind quiet. Just ask your mind to be quiet. And when the mind and body start to be quiet, then you can start to hear yourself. You can start to feel peace. That's what happens when your mind and body get quiet. You start to feel peace. And there's a great relief that happens when you start to feel that peace. When you start to feel that awareness that isn't made up of this world, then you can start to hear the divine beings that are around you that are saying, sweetheart, it's okay, we're with you. You're not alone. You're doing it. You're getting on track. Keep doing that. Slow down the breathing. Slow down the body. Relax those muscles. And you'll begin to hear and see that which is beyond what you think you know. Well, let us know, Gina. Oh, well, it's wonderful. Dawn is asking, hi, William. I was wondering what messages my guides have for me today. Dawn. I don't know, Dawn. They're saying you need to get out somewhere. You need to get out and go grounding. You need to ground somewhere. And there's a project you're putting off. They're saying, tell them to stop putting the project off. I don't know what that means, but there's a project that they're saying you've been putting off. Stop putting it off. I'm getting two things. Put the pen to hand. Put the pen to hand. Again, I don't know what that means or what that's related to, but that's the same. There's a project you've been putting off. Get grounded and put the pen to hand. Again, I don't know what that means, but please let us know. Let everybody know what that means for you. And thank you for that $10 donation. I appreciate that. Heather, if we are here to live by example, what do we do when our example is denied and another's not appreciative of my sacrifice in giving them a better life? Well, it's funny. I get a lot of ambiguity from them right now. Why? If you are able to completely and totally release your expectations for gain, while simultaneously identifying what you really want is different than what you have, you will make different choices and choose different actions. For you are free at any time to alter or change the manifestations of the world that you call your physical realm. So please understand that you must make these choices and these experiences. You are not limited to the experience you have in the present moment. You are only limited by the utilization of your own imagination in its potential to manifest the conditions that you would truly desire. If you are feeling hard done by, then it is because you are choosing to be hard done by. You are free to make another choice at any time. And the choice you would make that would be better would lead you to that which would be better. And you will no longer be stuck in that which causes you that suffering. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for that question, Heather. Yeah, when you see them when action speaks louder than words, Heather, I can speak from personal experience. Actions speak louder than words. Words are nice sometimes, but when they're backed up with action, then you've got integrity. When words and actions meet, you've got integrity. It's the actions. Take action. Make sure they take action too. I think this will be our last question today. Can you explain the numbers 3, 6, 9? Yeah, it's a unified harmonic vibration. This is Metatron. It's a unified harmonic vibration that, when properly understood and combined, you'll be able to literally move mountains. It was a frequency of energy that can be universally applied in many different situations to rearrange uh, time, space, and matter from a mechanical perspective of utilizing what you call mechanical devices to produce those frequencies. The ancient Egyptians often used this principle in order to move great objects with little or no effort. Wow, that's pretty cool. I think that's a great way to end today. Um, I want to thank everybody for coming on live. We will see you again tomorrow in the second installment. I'm really looking forward to see how this whole week unfolds for us. And I want to say thank you to Metatron, Buddha, and Gabriel, because Gabriel never said anything. He's just been sitting here all this whole time. Um, okay, just keeping an eye on me. Thank you. And we'll see you guys tomorrow at the same time, 10 a.m. Much love.